So why does so many quote unquote people that are not necessarily in line with God um, have money or make money very easily? I think one of the things is that oftentimes people equate poverty consciousness with righteousness. So poverty consciousness is just poverty consciousness. It's not necessarily something that is actually biblical. On the other extreme, of course, worship of money in of itself or making money an idol just makes you an addict in that area. And then oftentimes what I think is that people who really don't necessarily have a biblical roadmap or who really don't care about moral codes will be less likely to overthink what they do for money. There are things that most average people, they have limits, boundaries on what they're willing to do. And some of the people that people will say are no good, and some of them really are no good, they don't have those limits in morality because they don't believe whatsoever. Or if they believe in something you don't believe in and don't want to believe in. Now, where I'm going with this is that I find that a lot of times people will continue on with their lives and they'll be, well, I'm more righteous, or at least they'll intimate that they're more righteous because they've lived without, but we're not called to do that. And I'm saying that because sooner or later, you want to let that go, because there is no scripture that tells you you have to live destitute. It talks about the love of money is the root of all evil. And when we look at all the evils that are out there, we can see that this type of lust for financial gain is at the root cause. Does that mean that actually having financial gain in of itself is evil? No, it's not. So the distinction, I think, oftentimes is unfortunately lost on people. And what happens is it brings up a lot of pain and suffering unnecessarily, because you'll end up living a lifestyle below where you should be because you think somehow this brings you closer to Jesus. But if you really want to get closer to Jesus, you must purge yourself of fear. And if you're afraid to go into God's purpose, whatever it is, God's purpose might have you making more money. God's purpose may not. I don't know. But if what you're doing is rooted in fear, is this really your purpose? Is that really God? Think about it.